Good morning. It is Wednesday, October 19, 2022, 10 a.m., and I'd like to call to order the Ottawa City Commission meeting. Can I have roll call, please?
Mayor Crowley,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Skidmore,
Present.
Commissioner Kaler,
Present.
Commissioner Graves,
Present.
and Commissioner Clayton.
Present.
All right, we're all here. So we'd like to welcome everybody, whether you're here in person or you're listening to us or watching us on some form of media. We'll start today with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation by Pastor Jared Yancey from Hope Anthem Church. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for the opportunity to take about 30 minutes of your time. Just kidding. And I'd just like to ask a single question, and I'm going to pray for us. A question I like to ask often for myself and for others is this: what's the spiritual condition of my heart? What's the spiritual condition of my heart? Would you pray with me? Heavenly Father, thank you for leadership. And I pray over the leaders in this room. I pray blessing and favor. I pray over our city. Thank you, God, that you direct us and guide us, and we welcome that. We do not have wisdom outside of ourselves. We need that from you. So I pray wisdom over this meeting today. In your name, amen.
Thank you, Pastor. That'll move us on to our consent agenda, which consists of the minutes from our September 12th study session, our September 19th study session, our September 21st regular meeting, and our September 26th study session, and our agenda approval. Is there a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved. That will move us on to our public comments. Do we have any this morning?
None today.
Thank you. All right, that moves us on to declaration. At this time, I'd like to give the commissioners a chance to declare any conflict or communication they've had that might influence their ability to consider today's issues impartially. Hearing none, we will move to new business. Item 10.
Presentation acknowledging completion of Kansas Municipal Utilities Power Plant Technology Program to David Hunsaker.
Come on up, Brian.
That's right, Brian.
All right, Brian. Good morning.
Morning. I'm here to present another award. Seems like that's the only reason I come, but that's good, right? So I'm here to present a certificate of completion to David Hunsaker from the power plant. 2 years ago, KMU started a new power plant operator certification course. It's 8 quarters long. It runs for two years consecutively. It's not like a traditional college where you get time off in the summer. And David is part of our first graduating class. So we're having a graduation this Friday. He was unable to attend, so I wanted to make sure that he got his certificate today in front of somebody. So I appreciate everybody. And like I said, he is a member of our first graduating class. So David, if you'd like to come up. Here's your certificate. So having successfully completed the full course of study and met all the requirements prescribed by the Board of Directors of Kansas Municipal Utilities, David Hunsaker is hereby awarded the Power Plant Operator Certification as a member of the City of Ottawa, Kansas, at the level reflected in the Kansas Municipal Utility seals affixed below on the 19th day of October, 2022. Congratulations. Thank you.
David, would you like to say anything? Don't walk away. Come on up.
No, I'd like to thank Brian Meek and the KMU for developing such a program to increase the knowledge of the power plant personnel. It's not only just book work, but he gets them involved in our plant, research on our manuals, research of the engines, and they did a great job. Thank you.
David, we'd like to thank you for the good and hard work that you do for the City of Ottawa. Thank you.
Say, Brian, just quick, how many people in the class?
There's 5 people in the graduating class.
Okay, good.
So we made top 5.
So you made the top.
Good job,
news.
David.
Way to go.
And they get their diplomas or their degrees or certificates on Friday, so he's technically number 1.
All right.
Hey, there we
Yes.
go.
We'll make sure we put that in the media release. Thank you.
Great.
All right, that moves us on to item 11.
Introduction of new employee Jenna Hillier.
Mike, you want to come on up?
Yes. Yeah, I'd like to introduce our new planner, Jenna Hillier.
If Jenna could stand. Jenna's going to take a lead role in assisting the public with development. That's residents that call in or come in, that's contractors, that's developers. It's a very key position for us. She will be staffing the Planning Commission, the Board of Zoning Appeals. I'll tell you a little bit about Jenna's background. She's well qualified. She has several years of experience as a planner. She also has a lot of other experience that's helped her become a planner and an employee for the city. She's a mother, and she has other administrative experience. For the past 5 years, she was the director for the Unified Government of Wyandotte County's Urban Revitalization Program. She managed the land bank, and she managed what's called the SOAR initiative. SOAR stands for Stabilization, Occupation, and Revitalization. So in that capacity, she had to collaborate with a lot of departments, a lot of different disciplines, and citizens, and that's prepared her well for her work with the City of Ottawa. So I'm very pleased to have her here, and I just want to welcome her to the city. So thank you.
Thank you. Jenna, you want to say anything?
Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm enjoying the city and the work so far. I'm excited to work with you guys.
Well, I'm not sure why
You
Mike.
did a better pitch than I would have done. To hire them.
Sure. I'm not sure why Mike brought up the fact that you're a mother outside of the fact that you might need some patience to deal with some of those folks up there.
Planning, it works with planning.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, long-range planning, I got that.
Right. Well, welcome to the team here at Ottawa, and we appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that moves us on to item 12.
Request for approval of resolution of intent to finance bucket truck with issuance of federally tax exempt debt.
This resolution includes a Chevrolet bucket truck and related equipment with purchase amount of $166,897.05. Payment occurred on September 1st, 2022. Good morning, Director Landis.
Good morning. Thank you. This is the resolution that we discussed on Monday at our study session. And just as a reminder, this is one of the few vehicles and equipment that we discussed during the budget process for 2022 that we intended to use some sort of financing to purchase. And this is our intended financing would be a lease purchase on this item as well as a couple of others. And if you were to pass this resolution today, then we will move ahead with bidding that in very short order to get it done before the end of the year. And this one is specifically for the purchase of the bucket truck, which was a planned purchase. And we do have other vehicles and equipment that were intended to be financed this year. However, they're not available. We won't have them before the end of the year. So we'll just need to revise our plan for purchasing of those vehicles in 2023. And if you have questions about the resolution, I am happy to answer. I might mention that there was a question asked by our staff and our manager's office to say, do we really need to lease purchase this right now because of the balance currently in our electric fund? And it's a great question because when you look at a report for the electric fund, you might see that there's a good cash balance in there. However, this gives us an opportunity by passing this resolution to reevaluate that. It gives us the opportunity to move one way or the other if we want to. I would say in every one of our funds right now, we do still have remaining year-end transfers that need to be made. We do also have not just vehicles and equipment that were intended to be purchased yet this year, but also parts of our projects. So inventory, all of those things that we might use for the construction portion of running those utilities that have yet to be ordered because or paid for because they're backlogged, that delivery won't happen until 2023, all of those things. So we need to take a look at all of that. And so even by passing this resolution, we could always decide not to lease purchase or to finance this separately after the fact, but putting it in as an option would be a much more useful way to tackle it for us right now.
Commissioners, any questions for Director Landis?
Melanie, are we replacing a truck on this? And if we are, we plan to sell that any particular way?
I need to defer to Director Tharp.
Okay.
There was replacement of a truck, Commissioner.
Dennis, can you please come up just so the public can hear for sure? Thank you.
There was replacement of a truck. Then there was a swap of a truck. And And then there will be a truck that is then put out on Purple Wave
Purple Wave. All right.
as we move forward. Yes.
It's always good to know. Thanks. Thank you.
And some of the public may have already seen this truck that we're talking about, because I think it's been out and about on the streets and in use. It's a good-looking truck. I'd like it for my business. So. Commissioners, any other questions for Director Landis? If not, how would you like to proceed?
I'll make a motion, we approve item 12 on our agenda.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Can I have a roll call vote, please?
How do you vote, Commissioner Graves?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaler?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Skidmore?
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton?
Yes.
And Mayor Crowley?
I vote yes. Motion is approved. Thank you.
all.
That'll move us on to item 13.
Request for approval of ordinance authorizing issuance and delivery of 2022A general obligation bonds.
The ordinance authorizes issuance and delivery of $3.3 million principal amount of bonds and provides for the levy and collection of an annual tax for the purpose of paying the principal of the interest on the bonds as they come due. This will be used to finance certain improvements to the city's storm sewer system and certain buildings owned and operated by the city. Tyler, David, you coming up first? Good morning.
Morning. Bringing copies of that. Could you just have them maybe pass that down?
Sure.
Good morning, everyone. It's kind of been a long path getting here, but this is actually would represent the final steps for the City Commission to issue the Series 2022A bonds. And just to give you a quick update, yesterday the city conducted the actual public bidding for the bonds. We gathered up in the conference room upstairs yesterday and pulled up the website and pulled up a video conference with QTAC Rock and watched the bids come in. The market was pretty stable, has been pretty stable the last few days. There's actually been sort of a lack of supply of bonds in the Kansas market. And as a result of the stable market, and as a result of the good rating that the city has and the attractive issue size, we actually ended up getting a total of 9 bids for the bonds, which, as far as I can recall, is the most number of bids that the city has ever received on an issue, which obviously is good news. The best bid, in other words, the bid that was offering to purchase the bonds at the lowest interest rate, was submitted by Country Club Bank out of Kansas City. They have previously, I think they purchased one of the city's bond issues that was done last year. The interest rate at which Country Club Bank offered to purchase the bonds, the true interest cost was 3.477474%. And we reviewed the bid. It met all of the bidding parameters. It was mathematically correct, and they supplied the required good faith deposit. The other bids you can see on that list that's going by, and those range from 3.49% to 3.91%. Needless to say, we were really pleased to receive that many bids, and the interest rate on that best bid, I kind of compared it to some other recent sales, other recent competitive sales, and it definitely ranks on the low end of the yields that other recent sales have received. So real pleased. Based on the way the bid was constructed, we were actually able to resize the bond issue down a little bit, so the final principal amount will be $3,280,000 instead of $3,003,000. Just to let you know also, since we've talked so much about the refinancing in the past, we were still, we would not, that 3.47% would not have generated the savings target. It would have taken about a 3.27% to get that savings target that we had. So we'd just be issuing the bonds here for the new projects. Obviously, I welcome any questions that you might have about the sale process or the results or market conditions. If you don't have questions, I'd turn it over to Tyler to kind of walk you through what steps you need to complete the issuance process.
I was kind of watching the rates even today. I think they're higher yet. So had the bond sale taken place today, wouldn't we be higher than these?
I would think so. Yeah, I saw Treasury rates were up about 0.5 or 0.1%. So I'd expect it to be a little bit higher today if you take bids.
So considering the surrounding rates and timing on this, I guess we did pretty good considering. So pleased with that. Thank you.
Commissioners, any other questions or comments for David? Thank you, David. Tyler, is there anything you'd like to add? Oh, sure.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
So there are two separate items on your agenda for your consideration. The first item is item 13, which is an ordinance authorizing the issuance of the bonds. And as David said, because we resized the issue just slightly, the final principal amount is $3,280,000. And item 14 on your agenda is a resolution prescribing the form and details of the bonds. And both items would require a separate vote. And I wanted to note that in the agenda materials, the ordinance and the resolution have a bunch of blanks and bracketed information in them. Since the sale yesterday and prior to the meeting this morning, we have updated those documents with the final sale results, the final par amount. So in case there are any questions about that, that's kind of the process there. So happy to answer any additional questions.
Commissioners, any questions for Tyler? How would you like to proceed on item 13?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
I move that we approve item 13 on our agenda.
thank you.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Should that be amended to
Yes.
3.28?
Yes.
Amended.
As amended to 3.28 million.
Thank you. Still a second, right? Zach?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other discussion? Thank you. We have a roll call vote, please.
How do you vote, Mayor Pro Tem Skidmore?
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton?
Yes.
Commissioner Graves?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaler?
Yes.
And Mayor Crowley?
And I vote yes, motion is approved. Item 14.
Request for approval of resolution prescribing the form and details of 2022A general obligation bonds.
This resolution authorizes the delivery of, I'm going to change it, $3,280,000 principal amount of general obligation bonds. Anything you'd like to add?
Nothing.
All right, Commissioners, any questions on item 14?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make the motion we approve item 14 as amended.
I'll second the motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Have a roll call vote, please.
How do you vote, Commissioner Kaler?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Skidmore?
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton?
Yes.
Commissioner Graves?
Yes.
And Mayor Crowley?
I vote yes, motion is approved.
All right.
Tyler, David, thank you. We certainly appreciate your hard work on both of these.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And I'd also like to make sure to thank staff, Richard and Melanie and Rebecca, and all their assistants in putting all this together and getting it to this point. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, staff. All right, that'll move us on to comments by our city commissioners. Commissioner Graves?
I have no comment.
Commissioner Kaler?
Want to congratulate Dave. Congratulations for your work. We appreciate that. Hope it was a good learning experience for you. Welcome, Jenna, to the City of Ottawa family. We're glad you're here. Do want to note that it was, and this is kind of a change of hats, but it was recently Bosses Day, and I was in our city manager's office yesterday, and I noticed a really colorful wall of illustrations and quotes just saying thank you for his leadership. And I just appreciate all of those that contributed to that wall of appreciation. You know, it's really, Richard kind of embodies leading from behind. And he puts others in front, and he celebrates victories for them when they occur, but he will always be the one that takes the front line when there's danger or anything concerning that brings to a concern. And that's really true leadership. And so happy belated Bosses Day to you, Richard. Appreciate it.
Any other?
Nope.
Thank you. Commissioner Clayton?
Just a few comments. I attended a meeting last night of a kind of group that's getting off the ground of some young business owners and professionals kind of here in town. And I just always like to kind of reiterate that it's exciting that I hear other people who are in their 20s and 30s watch these meetings, whether that be live or they come back later to kind of get information on what's happening in the community. And so I just want to keep urging people to get involved as much as they can, in the future of Ottawa. So.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Skidmore?
I didn't get a chance to attend the study session, but I do want to say that the League of Kansas Municipalities was a good meeting this last week. I always come away with those meetings hearing other people talk, and we're already doing a lot of things that some people aren't even starting to do yet. And so I'm very encouraged every time I go by our city staff, commissioners for being progressive on a lot of ideas that are coming out through the state. Also Saturday night, enjoyed sitting with Commissioner Clayton and Commissioner Kaler as well. There was a very fine entertainment. There was some music duos and singing songs. They took requests from the crowd, and one of the songs is, I think it was "I Believe in Music," and they wanted us to sing along. I got to hear Commissioner Clayton sing, and let me say this, I used to believe in music. Maybe he's thinking the same thing when I sang, but nonetheless, it was a great experience, a great time to get together with other people around the state and see them, and very, very beneficial for all of us.
Thank you. I have no comments. That'll move us on to our comments by our city manager.
So it's not often I take the podium, but I seem to have done it more in the last year, and maybe that. So anyway, I'm glad we got this podium so we can adjustment. But last Friday was my 15th year here. 15 years ago, the city commission honored me. The city commission then honored me and humbled me by asking Rita and I to be a part of this community. And this is a great community. It has had the best leadership that on the elected level and on the appointed level that I've had in my almost 43 years of this. So with that, I'd like to make public that I will be retiring on March 31st, 2023. And I wanted to let you know that publicly, and I will get you the necessary paperwork, and we can work through that. But the next 5 months are going to be really busy for you. It's going to be busy for staff. We'll be in a transition, and what I guarantee you is that I'm your manager. I'm this community's manager until the last day. And I will put as much effort, if not more, into the next 5 months than at the same level I have the last 15 years. But thank you so much to the entire community, to all the citizens that opened up their community to Rita and I and our grandchildren and children. Thank you.
Thank you. Richard, I always say that, and I think I'm speaking for all of us, that you're certainly the best city manager that I've ever worked with. It amazes me that, as Mike mentioned, being at the league over the weekend, it amazes me the affirmations and the people that come up to you and talk to you, and how, I mean, my kids think I talk to a lot of people at Price Chopper. I can't get you away from people at meetings like that. I mean, everybody knows you. Everybody always has a good word to say about you, and I just want to say that I hope it wasn't anything that I did. Okay, just making sure.
It's forgotten, Mayor.
Okay, all right, good. Well, we certainly appreciate the 15 years that you and Rita have spent here. We have a lot to be thankful for in our community because of your leadership, and we're going to see the fruits of your labor over the next few years of what you've done as a leader and what you've helped us do as leaders. So thank you. Don't go too far, because we'd certainly like you to stick around for some, not today, but down the road, for your vast knowledge.
Well, as you may recall, Rita bought a house.
Thank you, Rita.
There may have been some collusion.
We're not
there.
going anywhere.
Good. All right. That'll move us on, unless anybody else. Okay, that'll move us on to our announcements. October 24th, we have a study session at 4 p.m. here at City Hall. Another study session October 31st at 4 p.m. here at City Hall. November 2nd, we have our Franklin County Development Council annual meeting. It's at 11:30 at the high school. And then November 3rd, we have our League of Kansas Municipalities Legislative Dinner at 5:30 in Baldwin. Is there anything else